Dolly has dropped by for a sit. We're going to just shift right into self-inquiry. Here comes the drawing tablet. So anything you notice as we come together, where are we starting? And it might have been with you when you first signed up for this too, right? It might be the same thing that was there when you signed up, or it might have moved on you. So just kind of curious, what do you notice now?
I feel like it's possibly the same thing, or just feeling uh quite lost.
Ah, all right. So quite lost is coming to
Yeah.
sit with us. So let me just write that in. And then, as you probably might remember, or not, but I'll say it anyway, I'm just going to offer a couple of phrases and things. Your consciousness through the form of you, and you're the boss, right? So I'm just kind of offering different things, and then you can give me reports on how you notice it impacting over on your side. Anything is okay. We're just going to go to one of the most common ones is you are welcome here. And the invitation is just to softly say that to this quite lost feeling, even if it's not fully true, because it's here. So we might as well say hi to it. Yeah, it's coming in here. I lost.
Um, during the pandemic, I really focused on diving deep, within myself, and I wanted to make peace with so much, with those parts of me that brought me to that place. And I feel like I did, and I had so many plans with what I wanted to do with what I learned and what I've and continuing to learn. And I had to go back to work, as many of us did.
Hmm.
Yeah. And all of the self inquiry, all of the everything got put aside. And for almost a year, I was just in a very toxic work environment, which has recently changed.
Mm.
Um, but I feel like I'm having trouble finding my way back to what all the plans that I had. Um, I just that the what comes up is just feeling lost, like not having any direction.
Mm.
And I'm disappointed in myself, really, is what comes up.
Yeah, and I can notice the tears too. So we're just going to welcome the tears and the disappointment.
Mhm.
A couple other things I want to point out too. You did something really interesting. Most people think. You actually said I feel right off the bat, right? When you were talking about the
Mhm.
diving deep, right? So you were in the being place. Um, yeah, that audio is still doing something a little diff.
Let me try it.
Okay.
Try it again.
We'll see as we go along, see what happens. But with the feel up here, I'm just going to welcome it. It could be multiple things, but a little shorthand for that is heart. So just right off the bat, it was here, and obviously the sweet emotion that's here as well is heart. Plants usually has to do with the mind and the doer.
Mhm.
I always draw the mind with a little set of hands. from my strategic planning days, right? It's got like a little uh, checklist or something, right?
Hmm.
I've got the little road up here too. So it had plans, right? So many plans and things I was going to do. So I also want to point that out and welcome that aspect of your consciousness. Both came very quickly. The and heart was first, which doesn't happen a lot. Yeah. So wow, high feels and high doing, right? So the do and the be.
Which is, actually interesting because I'm not I feel like my natural way of being is not a doer. It's a feeler. It is
Yeah.
to feel my way through life. And which is, it's like it's not a natural place for me to think my way through things because my mind tends to be pretty heavy. It's more natural for me to be in my heart. And it's like I'm trying to force my way back into being the doer. And it's not.
Well, I'm also hearing the next things that followed right after was toxic work, which is a big
Yeah.
out, right? So that's like, oh, ouch, ooh, not good. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
right? So boom, toxic work. And then the emotions, right? The tears and the disappointment, and also some self-berating by the sounds of it
Yeah.
too, right? So it's like a whole bundle there. So even in me just referencing it right now, it starts to address it. But toxic work, there's going to be great aversion there. None of us like that. Unfortunately, a lot of people have it. So maybe just meeting the aversion to the toxic work. Of course, you didn't like it. Sounds like it just shifted or moved on you, though. Thank goodness. Yay.
Yeah.
Right. But that time that you were in that toxic work and whatever is going on there, yuck. I just really want to give it its due that it was very unpleasant and you didn't like it, understandably. There's a big old no there.
It's yeah, it was it ended up feeling like a very dark place for me.
Hmm.
And it was almost like putting me to the test. All this work I had done, and it would have been a great place to practice what I had learned. But instead, I fell into a deep depression. My anxiety was through the roof. I had physical tics. Um, it
Wow.
became almost like symptomatic.
Just getting it all down.
Yeah.
Symptomatic. It's a big deal. Those are not
Yeah.
good things. Those are
Yeah.
quite significant, right? So very significant. In fact, if the body's like ticking from it,
Yeah.
wow. Sorry, body. Ouch. It's just really consciousness is really letting us know the ick of it.
Yeah. And tics tend to be almost a gauge for me. That's where it shows up for me.
Mhm.
And so, the louder the ticks, it's just a huge signal that things aren't okay.
Now, it sounded like there might have been some good news on the horizon or something that recently happened, right? So did something happen with a change in that? Or,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I was transferred to a different office, to a
Oh,
different
thank goodness.
location. So I
Okay.
still have it's the same employment, it's just a different environment,
Yeah.
which is it's a much healthier environment.
Yay.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing.
Okay, good. So we're just who this is going to be like preference, right? This is
Yeah.
like, yay, good. Yes, please. We like this. Phew. Yeah. So we're just meeting that and appreciating that a shift happened there and it's healthier. Yes, please, health. Come on in. Come on in. You can root in here more. There's a lot of room here because that other stuff was so bad. Yes, please, to health coming in. No,
Um,
just go ahead, please. Yeah.
yeah, the work environment is different. So, at least how I'm spending, the 8 hours of my day is it's been a huge shift. And so I feel like but now, I'm back to the what do I do? Because this isn't where I want to end up. This is a means. I mean,
Okay. So the doer's back at it. What do I do? Okay. Oh. So we can just come back. Oh, hi. You're on it. You're back to this doing. Yeah. By the way, mind and doers have hearts, right? It's all coming for love from us. It's a protector. Back to some of the parts language, right?
mhm.
In particular, it's a controller. However, the nice thing about it, here's the heart up here. It has minds have hearts. Just it's kind of a yin yang thing, just like the heart actually has a mind, right? So I'm just wanting to appreciate the mind and the doer, this control protector aspect of you. All of us have them, right? Because it's trying to, through the intellect and through doing, look after you. And it probably has a history of doing that. And us in the Western world, it's very highly developed and we need it too, right? Yeah. So I'm just kind of appreciating and laying it on authentically for mind and doer before I zero in a little bit more and go, what's up with all the pressure on the doing?
It's I mean, there's definitely I feel fear
Okay.
in that I'll get stuck, that I'll be stuck where I'm at rather than, following my heart, which is sharing what I've learned. And, and like I've thought of ways that I could do that feel true to me, where it's even just sharing as I practice.
So something really incredible. Your the mind and the doer, another way of thinking of them as masculine energy, right?
Mm,
And the heart up here is the feminine.
mm,
And what do you know? You have a provide protector here. So the masculine is like, I'm afraid, the doer's are afraid of getting stuck, that you're going to get actually stuck, that the feminine's not going to be able to do its thing, right?
that's exactly, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's really beautiful that the masculine is actually defending that. Yeah, just take a moment for that. It's gorgeous, especially with toxic in here already, toxic work. This is sacred masculine of wanting to support the feminine to flourish. Lovely. I'm going to suggest maybe a hand on the heart. And if I was I facilitate constellations, so I often do this like I do constellations. I'm going to walk on over and say, "How is it for you?" Like, "Oh, heart, here's the mind and doer at your service. They don't want the life or to get stuck here. How is it for you, heart?"
It's like she's been behind a wall.
All right. There's some information. Ouch, behind a wall.
Like it's almost like I've not let her out.
Uh-huh. So she's saying I'm behind a wall. She doesn't let me out. And how is that for you? My heart feels for you, heart. Behind a wall and you're not let out. Ouch.
It it's like a fear to be seen.
Ah.
Um, Something that has come up in the recent inquiries is like a fear of humiliation.
Mm. That's a really big word. You know that I do the shifting the power work, and humiliation is such a tough energy. So first off, I'm so sorry, heart. There's a big one that it proceeded with, which is this fear of being seen, right? So somehow it's safer to be invisible. Um,
Behind the wall.
yeah. So usually that's because there's, safety issues, right? I know a little bit of context on you. So I remember your little one under the table, the kitchen table. Yeah. And here's humiliation. And I can only guess that it's maybe it's that same time frame, but in the previous earlier environment, tough stuff. And humiliation is a really, really awful feeling, and hearts are very, very sensitive. Of course, you don't want to be humiliated. And a deep, deep bow to the, uh, it's a protective mechanism, right? The invisibility and the hiding or whatever, right? Behind this wall. It turns out that's another protector, right? You've got the mind and doer as a protector, but here's this wall as a protector. So in a way, there's two controllers duking out. One wants to do, get out there in the world and be visible, and the other one's no, it's not safe.
Yeah.
I have to keep her hidden here, and we have to avoid humiliation.
What's coming up is like my mother was pretty physically abusive and and it didn't matter who was around. And so there was a lot of that in front, you know, of people. It didn't matter if there was an audience.
Uh,
And so like that's coming
there's
up.
the humiliation. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So, oh my goodness, I can feel it in my own back where I hold a lot of my own trauma stuff.
That's where
Uh,
mine goes.
yeah, okay. So, oh gosh. First off, so sorry. It's we're instantly kind of time traveling, right? Here's the exile. And mom's physical abuse and not caring if it's public or who sees, right? So there's an added layer of that with that being suffered in front of other people. And probably, I don't know if did anybody do anything?
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, oh my goodness. That's like a double whammy. Sorry for the pun, bad pun. So to that little one, I'm here. Your now adult self is here, right? So the age you are now, and as is mine, even though my exile can feel this and my protectors. And I'm here as backup for you. And you're capable as the now adult self. It's good to have the separation too, right? um, knowing there's the adult self and then there's this younger self. As we come into the range of her, where you're suffering the humiliation of your mother's physical abuse in front of other people, first off, we might want to just freeze everybody, like your mother mid whatever swing or whatever she's doing. And those people with their own awful context about why they don't do a damn thing, let's freeze all of them. And that leaves your younger you. Do you have any sense of how old you are?
There's several ages that are coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So complex trauma is not just a single incident here. Yeah. What are
Yeah.
the ages that flash at you?
14,
Oh.
uh, about 8,
Mm-hmm.
um, and the number 12 popped up.
Interesting enough, the one we visited before, she was younger, the one under the kitchen table, right? So seems to me now we're coming to some other exiles that are important to make contact with, and we'll see what happens in terms of gathering more info and then rescues if they need to want to happen here. But thank you to these ages that have arisen here. Do you have a sense of who to start with first? 8, 12, 14.
The 14-year-old seems to
Okay.
be a little
Yeah,
louder right now.
that's the first one that came too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now there may be a certain well, let me ask it this way. Where do you feel she is? Where is she? We've been brought to her. Is she in a home? Is she outside? Is she in school? Is she on a street? Where is she?
Uh, there's actually a specific
Mm,
time and moment.
mm-hmm.
And while there's several sort of flashing scenes from different points in time, but this specific one is when she told her mother no more.
Okay, so you're bringing your now adult self to that 14-year-old who stood up and said no more to mother.
Yeah.
Is there anything you need to do as you enter into this moment? Is there, like I said earlier, is there anything you need to freeze or stop, or what's your instincts as the adult you as you come into
It's
this?
just telling her that I'm so proud of her
Yeah, okay.
and thanking her. I was always so protective of my siblings.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was that moment that I was able to do that for myself.
Yay. Now, as you're communicating with her, does she know who you are? Does she get that you're a time traveler? You're her future self?
I feel like she does.
Good.
Like she's ready to go back to the others.
Okay. Okay. Then maybe she can just go ahead and lead us. Oh, is she going back to the others in at 14 or
No,
back
she
to
wants to
the
go to the
younger
8-year
years?
old.
Okay, good. That's what I initially thought, but I was
Yeah.
just checking because I know there's siblings and everything. Okay, so 8-year-old. So 14-year-old's going to lead us to the 8-year-old. Thank goodness. No, where's the 8-year-old?
She's outside on a neighbor's stoop.
Ah, Yeah,
with a bunch
anything
of
you
friends.
notice, yeah, anything you notice, just information wise, we can get in there and just get her right out. But sometimes it's helpful to just get the information as you're making contact, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a particular thing going on here around part of you wants to do, but part of you doesn't want to do, doesn't want to be seen, is worried about humiliation. So my guess is there's something going on here with the 8-year-old also about humiliation. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't need to say it out loud if you don't care to. That's totally fine. But uh, just noticing that, is it clear about how this is connected to visibility and humiliation?
Yeah.
Okay. And what wants to happen here? You and the 14-year-old, what are your instincts as you come into the scene with the 8-year-old?
To stop my mother.
Okay. By all means, go right ahead and stop her, especially you as the adult self, right? Because frankly, for a 14-year-old, it's incredible and it's lovely. You're proud of her and thanking her because she's also defending you as opposed to the others. But you, the now adult self, can take care of this like woman to woman.
Yeah.
So anything that you do with your mother, anything's okay. How do you take care of the situation? What are your instincts as you come in and like enough?
Well, it's interesting what's happening because initially I thought, in my mind,
Hmm.
thought, well, I'm just gonna, you know, give it to her straight and tell her how wrong she is.
Hmm.
But there's a part of me that's just not there anymore.
Hmm.
It doesn't feel that would be.
Right, right. So what do you notice instead about how you're going to handle it instead of the anger or putting her in her place or maybe even violence back or something?
Is just to talk to her
Hmm.
and offer her some compassion.
Mm.
And things have also shifted with my mother in present day,
Mm.
so I look at her in a different light. It
Yep,
doesn't take the humiliation away,
right.
but I feel like I can talk to her as an adult.
Very good. So by all means, just coming in and talking to her as an adult in this way, as you're protecting your 8-year-old self and you're setting her straight in this way about what's going on here and how inappropriate and wrong it is. Yeah. Knowing she has context, there's probably ancestral dysfunction and everything, right? So it's passed down stuff. I'm also getting the feeling about with shame, because humiliation often, provokes guilt and shame. Um, Pass those back to her, and maybe you can let her to know, pass them back to however this got set up for her. She's learned behavior somehow. Yeah, probably multiple generations. They're all kind of listening right now. Some of them on the other side have larger context now, so they're part of why this is happening. But it's not yours to carry. Just letting that 8-year-old, maybe even taking it off of her, gathering up that shame and that humiliation and that stuff in the back. Oh, sweetheart, this is not about you. This is complicated ancestral trauma here. It's not your fault. And you want to have boundaries with mom, but we're also letting mom's inner child know too that it's not her fault. because toxic things were done onto her, apparently, too. Have I got it right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's happening with the passing back the shame? And we want to actually let the ancestry know too. Multiple generations might be looking in. Hey guys, pass it back. Pass it back. Pass it back. Keep passing it back to wherever it became funky, right? Somewhere it
It's like it's almost like it's like looking into a room full of mirrors where it just never ends.
uh-huh. Yeah.
And so it's just going back farther and farther
Yeah.
and farther.
Yeah. Sometimes in these situations, we'll check with you. It's kind of you have to go back to the ancient ancestry. And your mind's not going to maybe even know who they are. You might if you've done DNA testing or stuff like that. Oh, go back to the originals. Usually we can go back and find ones before all that shit began. And you're looking at them and they're looking at you, and there's all these generations in between of dysfunction.
It feels like what came up is a visual of ancestors, like very poor, hard living. But what's also coming up is like hard living, but still able to find joy in things like
Okay, good. So going to them because they have a different felt experience, right? They have a different way of doing it. It may be poor and it's hard living, but they also can find joy.
it's like celebrating happening.
Mm.
Almost like dancing around a fire.
Hmm.
And a lot of physical movement, like embodying physical expression with dance. There's a lot of fire.
Hmm. You're able to communicate with them across the veil and across all these generations and about, the ancestry in between here too. What do these ones pass along to you? What's their, as you bring, your dilemma as the rep from your family at this stage of things? Just communicating with them, letting them know anything that they get across to you, or what are they getting across to with this dancing?
A message came up, and
Mhm.
but it was like my first instinct is like, no, that's not, to
Yeah.
not believe it. Um, but the message was that I come from a long line of healers
Mm-hmm.
and that I was meant to get past this,
Mm,
not to live
beautiful.
in it.
Yeah. So letting the 14-year-old and the 8-year-old, and eventually there'll be the 12-year-old too, maybe in on as well on looking back across time about these people that they come from, this long line of healers and their joy, their knowledge. And anything that they offer in terms of the ones that came after that you're recovering from, and you're also helping to heal. How can they and you work together here? Or anything, because it's right in the middle of 8-year-old, right? So 14 and 18-year-old, there's a 12 coming too. There's no coincidence why this connection's been made right now. Anything that they naturally instinctually do with you, with the 8-year-old, with the 14-year-old, or with this family, these generations in between, their time and yours.
I feel like my head and my heart are battling it out right now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's hear from both. What's the head say? That's the first one.
Well, my head is just going blank. Like I don't
Ah,
have words.
well, that's actually good for heads. Good news, it's going blank. Woohoo! Because it doesn't probably can't operate the way that in 2025 and the Western world and everything, right? It does not compute. Yeah, what's hard to say?
It feels like that's really the message is for me to lead with my heart.
Hmm.
And just and think in the idea of the 12-year-old, that's about when I started shrinking.
Yep.
And, the 14-year-old she had the courage to stand up to her mother, but she was extremely depressed, like
Mm,
suicidal ideations. And that carried on for the next, I don't know, 3 decades,
wow. Yeah.
2 decades.
Yeah. Well, let's go get the shrinking one.
Yeah.
We'll bring the 12-year-old to the line of healers in the fire too.
She's a
Let's
little
go
more
get the,
timid.
yeah, okay. Yeah, makes sense. If she's shrinking, she's going to be more timid. Aw, yeah. Come here, sweetheart. I'm here, just letting her know you are there for her.
Like she just needed, like she just needed to be told that she was loved,
Hmm.
that she mattered.
Yes, please. Please tell her. Please show her. And bring her to those long line of healers too. Notice what they do as you come in with these little exiles. How do they greet this 12-year-old?
They embrace her.
Yeah.
And she just stands with her arms on her to her side,
Mm,
but she's receiving, she's allowing it.
good. Yeah. Poor traumatized sweetheart. Yeah. It'd be very unfamiliar to be embraced.
I think she's almost just fallen into their arms.
Yes, please. Come here, fall into our arms. We're here for you. And the 8-year-old and the 14-year-old, and your now age, maybe all being embraced,
Yeah.
all finding your place here with these healers.
We're we're all embracing her.
Beautiful. Yes, please.
She's receiving it.
Good news. No rush. She just be with this most important thing to happen.
She's opening up a little bit.
Yay. Opening up a little, you are welcome here. Just inviting that.
She just wants to sit. She needs more time.
Yeah, yeah, own and pace. This is going to be a lot all at once. So just slow and respectfully at the pace that works for her. No rush.
It's what's coming up is that was sort of just before like the rage took hold.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So the rage is going to be a protector. This feeling, right, that she's in, that's the exile or one of them, right? So, yeah, that shrinking and everything, that also could be a protective mechanism as well. But the rage definitely, escapee often, it can be both sides of it, protectors and escapees. Deep, deep bow to the rage. Because it's in this very complicated situation, right? You as a child are trying to look after yourself and figure things out. So rage is an understandable option. Yeah,
The rage protected me.
exactly. Yeah,
100%.
want to give it its due. We don't want to make it wrong, right? Although there's things to calibrate later on, because sometimes, repetition wound wise, rage can get people in problem, but it's a secondary problem. So the first thing is that the rage is, like you said, it's a protector. So deep, deep bow to the rage. Trying to look after you, trying to put that protective layer on that shrinking and that humiliation. I mean, it was a hell of a situation, Dolly, that you were in, and your siblings, you know. Uh, and rage is an understandable reaction to come out of the system, right? So there's a part in here that's understandably rageful.
Yeah.
And that's her job, her protective job. And thank goodness, because you're in front of me, so somehow you survived, right? So rage is part of the survival mechanism. It's going to be an interesting one for healers, right? Uh, so we're just wanting to really respect it, give it honor. And in its right place, there's a lot of things that, anger is about boundaries and violation, right? And it's natural, normal to have anger and maybe even rage, depending on the violations. So there will be a place in your now adult self for this energy as a healer, because continuing to protect you or protect people you know and care about. There's the world server aspect as well. There's plenty of things in the world that is appropriate to be angry and rageful about in the context of a healer, right? We need that energy.
So something's coming up that and I think this is where I do carry shame,
Mm-hmm.
where the abused becomes the abuser, and
Right.
that rage turned on my brothers.
Yeah. So out of the exile comes the perpetrator, right? The protectors can change into punishers or perpetrators. Yeah. So you're very
Or both.
admirable. Yeah.
I was both.
You're owning it, and a lot of people will just stay in the, understandably so, in the victim energy. So now you're really meeting your victimizer. Whew. We're doing the second level of shifting the power right now, and this is exactly where we are in the course. And it's a really delicate thing, right? But also in healing processes, people can't. It has its appropriate time, right, with the victim energy, but it's so important to go to the victimizer too, which often can happen out of complex trauma and abuse. So hello perpetrator, hello punisher, hello victimizer, hello rageful one. Yeah, it went too far. And this is the with shame and guilt, right? um, Even though you're a child and it's complex, and you come by it naturally because of the multiple generations, there's healthy shame. Yeah. You don't need to take on the toxic shame, right? Because a lot of this is not yours and it's got a lot of complications to it. And you were a child, um, put in very difficult situation, doing the best you can, but it's actually healthy to have some shame about one's perpetration. So we're just meeting healthy shame and no thank you to toxic shame, right? The discernment line.
She's apologizing to my brothers.
Very good. Yeah.
And to my mother.
Mm.
I was so angry.
Yeah.
It's like I could see myself.
Now your now adult self, you want to be there for her. And the ancestors are being there for you as you're being there for her, and they're being with her too. How do they handle this? How do they handle her rage and her perpetration and her guilt and her shame?
what comes up is like it was almost like set up to be that. Like it was inevitable.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes they literally are setups, but I don't know if you come from those kinds of families. I mean, I do work with people who come from kind of network backgrounds or cult backgrounds and all that kind of stuff, and they put their kids in these really lose-lose situations, and they actually try to groom perpetration in various ways. So I'm going to guess it's not that extreme. Am I right?
I don't
When
think
you
it was
say
that.
setup? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's that extreme. I just meant like,
There's no other way that it could not have gone that
yeah,
way. Yeah. Yeah. Just checking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So,
what I just even thinking back, I can't imagine that it could have gone any other way unless
yeah, yeah,
about it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And you're a kid, and there's no guidance. There's no adults in the room, even if they're in adult bodies. There's a lot of bad behavior. There's probably addictions or various things and stuff, escapee behavior going on. So she's young, right? How old is this one? Is this the 12-year-old or the 14-year-old?
No, it was 14 and on.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay. So that's the flip side of the proud of her because she stood up, but she took it too far.
Yeah, it's like what so it seems to be sort of unraveling is like she stood up to her mom and her mom stopped. So okay, that worked.
Mm,
So now that's the way to handle things moving forward.
yeah, she learned a tool. Yeah, yeah. So now adult self and also those healthy ancestors here, right? Because they must have had to deal with rage and stuff in their times. Just seeing what the natural response is, the teaching, the loving, the boundary work, right? With this one who has understandably violated when she learned about the power of rage.
Yeah. Still that fire.
Yep, that's
But
interesting.
it's
They're there with
yeah.
fire, right? They know
It's
fire.
like but dancing
Yeah.
around it, right? And it's but the fire is actually calming down. It's not as high.
Hmm.
Like now it's almost like a kindling.
Hmm. Little alchemy helping here with her fire. Yeah.
But physically it's like uh my low back and sacrum are it doesn't feel like fire, but there's that tension.
Bring the low back and the sacrum to the ancestors and see if there's any work or anything that they do with that low back and that sacrum.
Like it's like almost steam coming off of it. But they're using their hands.
Hmm. Good.
calming down.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your healing. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your support.
Wow. It feels like everything's just gone quiet.
Yay. Hi, quiet. You're welcome here. So that's peace, that's stillness.
Yeah.
Yeah, stillness with a capital S. Yeah. You're welcome here, stillness. Grace is on the case. I'm aware of the 8-year-old, 12-year-old, 14-year-old, and you. And you're there with that stillness with them. Maybe we just leave you there, or what needs to happen with all the time travel and everything. Maybe the ancestors can suggest something. I mean, I'm going to assume you can come here. Maybe you stay here with them.
It feels safe.
Yay. Yeah. So you can come here. This is your sanctuary. Yes, please, to safety. So quiet, safe.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And we just continue to invite it like it's inhabiting, right? It's like a downloading process and a reconfiguration, recalibration, right? As this comes into a new orientation, a new order within and in your energetic field. Yeah. Probably will continue to percolate here. And that's probably where to leave you is right here with these long line of healers, with the quiet, with the safe, with them, with you and your trio of exiles here, finally safe and the quiet. Now check on the what do I do? I mean, this is the answer of what to do, right? Like we'll see how this, but I'm curious about the humiliation, the fear of being seen. I mean, you're beautifully seen here. You're so visible. What a gracious gift. But as you touch into that kind of fear of seeing a humiliation, maybe it'll play out so we don't have to know. But I'm just kind of checking, like, what's going on with that now that what's unfolded here?
It feels like there's still a layer of protection
Mm-hmm.
in that. Um, yeah, like what comes up is just like it's also this fear of sounding dumb.
Hmm.
But it also
Well,
feels like old programming.
yeah, it's all old programs.
Yeah.
Um, um, mm. I just called it a sanctuary. You can call it whatever you want, but what's emerged here, right? With the ancestors, with the fire, with you being there, this is like a go-to place. I have this protocol in my work. You may have done it before, Alpha Mind, right? Uh, so this is like you got your own Alpha Mind right here. You've got your own sanctuary. This can be an ongoing place, and your mind can literally come and see what happens, right? And or it can happen underneath the hood without needing to be aware or control anything. But you can continue to bring these layers. So as you're noticing, oh, so visibility kind of got taken care of. Now I'm more concerned about dumb, right? So, like you're saying, programs, absolutely, right? There's multiple programs. Same for my clients who, have been mind controlled, literally, right? We're all mind controlled, but have heavy duty programs. We all have programs.
Yeah.
So this is your programs that you're valiantly working through, right? The conditioning. That's the whole thing with self-inquiry and
There
thought
was a lot of
songs.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot.
yeah, yeah. So takes a bit to get them there and
Yeah.
takes a bit to reprogram. So, but you have wonderful allies here in these ancestors continuing to come to the quiet and safe place. They're right here. We haven't disconnected. So maybe I'll just bring it to them. They're kind of the best coaches in the world. Hey, everybody, what do you want to do about these dumb programs? She's now going to dumb.
It's just what's coming up is like, oh, that's just silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're confident. Yeah, we're not dumb. We're
Yeah.
the furthest thing from dumb. Yeah. In fact, this is wise, super smart, right? Yeah. Okay, good. So taking that in about how they respond to that, their lightness.
It feels it makes it feel so much lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just and Christina, I look at that drawing of the ancestors dancing around the fire. It's just so beautiful.
Yay.
That's going to be a go-to for sure. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. All right, so it'll continue to unfold. Deep, deep bow to the ancestors, just leaving you and your exiles in their wonderful dancing beings with them in the best hands, in the best bodies and spirit, right? So continuing to be with them and see what unfolds as you continue to heal and work through the understandable programs, the different layers of things. Big layers have been uh, connected with and shedded today. It'll be interesting to see, the ripple effect of that. So often I like to get a title. So you are the ancestors. What shall we call this magnificent self-inquiry and journey that happened today?
Maybe it's the dancing ancestors.
Beautiful. Yeah.
The dancing certainly brings me joy.
Dancing ancestors. Mhm. Ancestors it is. Yes, please. Well, thanks for coming for a sit, Dolly. Beautiful.
Christina, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
It's my sincere honor.
But you,
Beautiful, beautiful.
it's such a gift. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And thank you for allowing it to be recorded because it'll be a gift for others as well. Wonderful parallel processing. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
You're still doing the satsangs, right?
Mhm.
Okay. I feel like I'm ready to join.
Yay, wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Drop-ins are happening the first and third Sunday of each month.
Okay.
And private satsongs happen twice a year. They're containers with small groups for 16 weeks. I'm in the middle of the spring one, so there'll be another one in the fall.
Okay. I might do something like that.
Great. And
Yeah.
I'm starting to do in-person ones starting here where I am in Victoria, BC. So there's day-long ones. I have one
Oh,
coming
wow.
in June and there'll be one in September. So eventually, hopefully I'll do multi-day kind of retreats or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Hang on. I'll just turn off the recording.
Okay.